The plan is as follows. Saber Squadron, you will eliminate all air and naval assets, then air defenses. We also have a special forces group to protect as well. Their mission is to... All right, gentlemen. At ease. Take your seats. I'll make it brief. Yes, the Belkans have declared war on us. However, they have underestimated us. At 0300 hours, they launched a full-scale invasion of the Yuktobanian island of Stratus, a highly populated tourist spot for ocean civilians. The Yuktobanian forces were too small in number to resist and surrendered, allowing the enemy to capture a highly prized Excalibur satellite laser weapon. I'll make myself clear. We must retake that position if we are to stand a chance against them. The plan is as follows. Saber Squadron, you will eliminate all air and naval assets, then air defenses. We also have a special forces group to protect as well. Their mission is to secure the oil rigs and rescue any civilians they can. SAR and QRF Apaches will be standing by for extraction. Protect those assets. You have your orders. Good luck. All right, gentlemen. At ease. Take your seats. I'll make it brief. Yes, the Belkans have declared war on us. However, they have underestimated us. At 0300 hours, they launched a full-scale invasion of the Yuktobanian island of Stratus, a highly populated tourist spot for ocean civilians. The Yuktobanian forces were too small in number to resist and surrendered, allowing the enemy to capture a highly prized Excalibur satellite laser weapon. I'll make myself clear. We must retake that position if we are to stand a chance against them. The plan is as follows. Saber Squadron, you will eliminate all air and naval assets, then air defenses. We also have a special forces group to protect as well. Their mission is to secure the oil rigs and rescue any civilians they can. SAR and QRF Apaches will be standing by for extraction. Protect those assets. You have your orders. Good luck. All right, gentlemen. At ease. Take your seats. I'll make it brief. Yes, the Belkans have declared war on us. However, they have underestimated us. At 0300 hours, they launched a full-scale invasion of the Yuktobanian island of Stratus, a highly populated tourist spot for ocean civilians. The Yuktobanian forces were too small in number to resist and surrendered, allowing the enemy to capture a highly prized Excalibur satellite laser weapon. I'll make myself clear. We must retake that position if we are to stand a chance against them. The plan is as follows. Saber Squadron, you will eliminate all air and naval assets, then air defenses. We also have a special forces group to protect as well. Their mission is to secure the oil rigs and rescue any civilians they can. SAR and QRF Apaches will be standing by for extraction. Protect those assets. You have your orders. Good luck. All right, gentlemen. At ease. Take your seats. I'll make it brief. Yes, the Belkans have declared war on us. However, they have underestimated us. At 0300 hours, they launched a full-scale invasion of the Yuktobanian island of Stratus, a highly populated tourist spot for ocean civilians. The Yuktobanian forces were too small in number to resist and surrendered, allowing the enemy to capture a highly prized Excalibur satellite laser weapon. I'll make myself clear. We must retake that position if we are to stand a chance against them. The plan is as follows. Saber Squadron, you will eliminate all air and naval assets, then air defenses. We also have a special forces group to protect as well. Their mission is to secure the oil rigs and rescue any civilians they can. SAR and QRF Apaches will be standing by for extraction. Protect those assets. You have your orders. Good luck. All right, gentlemen. At ease. Take your seats. I'll make it brief. Yes, the Belkans have declared war on us. However, they have underestimated us. At 0300 hours, they launched a full-scale invasion of the Yuktobanian island of Stratus, a highly populated tourist spot for ocean civilians. The Yuktobanian forces were too small in number to resist and surrendered, allowing the enemy to capture a highly prized Excalibur satellite laser weapon. I'll make myself clear. We must retake that position if we are to stand a chance against them. The plan is as follows. Saber Squadron, you will eliminate all air and naval assets, then air defenses. We also have a special forces group to protect as well. Their mission is to secure the oil rigs and rescue any civilians they can. SAR and QRF Apaches will be standing by for extraction. Protect those assets. You have your orders. Good luck. All right, gentlemen. At ease. Take your seats. I'll make it brief. Yes, the Belkan...
Wow, hello guys. Welcome back to a game that I used to love playing, and this game is something that's really, really special to me. I just, it's one of those games that I absolutely loved playing when it first came out, simply because it was just so much fun. And I just think I haven't streamed for a while, so it would be pretty fair of me to come back and generally just revisit these games. And one of these games that I used to love playing was a game called R.U.S.E. Now, for those of you who've never played it before, this game you cannot find anywhere. You can't buy it. The servers were shut down. The whole game was kind of abandoned. But it was a prequel to the games that you're seeing now, such as Warno and some of the other titles along that line, where the Warno and things like that were more modernized, whereas this is R.U.S.E, a game of strategy based upon World War II tabletop tactics. If you don't quite understand what that means, it means that all your vehicles, your infantry, everything like that are all like pucks on a table, and it's your plan, and it's you that's deciding to make this plan bigger, to move these units across the board and essentially defeat your enemies. As you can see, we've got tons of AI here, and I'm going to be playing on the second team with the Russians, the Japanese and the Italians versus the Germans, French and the British. The French are kind of leading the charge here, mostly because of the fact that these guys are kind of the only guys who would effectively be leading the charge here. I randomized the teams, and this is what was given. Excuse me. One of the things I actually love about this game was during the time when it was out there, I had this on the Xbox 360, and I had a few friends and me would play this, and it was so much fun. So much fun. I absolutely enjoyed it, getting a few guys together, and we'd have these big games like this, and it was honestly bad. It was honestly so bad. It was so much fun. One of the things that I really didn't like, the difference between the Xbox 360 and the PC version, is the PC version was unlimited in the scope of time, and unlimited, as you can see there, time limit, no limit, and it was unlimited in your army size. You can build as much as you like, which was amazing. In the Xbox version, I think it went up to around 100 points or 150. I couldn't quite remember. I think it might have actually been 65 points or 70 points or something like that. It was limited how you could build up your army, and the annoying part was you could only get the 60 the 1 hour limit, 60-minute limit, which is kind of annoying because we had this whole thing going, and I thought it would have been amazing to kind of have that kind of thing going on. Now, I've streamed on Discord a few things with a few people, and they've all kind of come back with memories about it, and you know, it's a wonderful game to have. Now, Ruse, you're probably wondering, if I can't find it anywhere, how come I have it? Well, Ruse is no longer made anymore. However, you can find these games, or games from your childhood, or games that, you know, old indie games and old games in particular, from abandonware sites. Now, you've got to be very careful with various abandonware sites, because sometimes you don't know whether or not you can trust them, if they're very secure. Sometimes there are games that will come across and they will have a virus put into the system. However, certain abandonware sites are very, very, very secure. They go through all the files, they make sure there's no they go through the files, make sure there's no coding that will give you viruses or things like that. They're very secure. They're very they check everything before they put it anywhere near their sites, and these guys are really, really good. So you can always, if you're not sure about how to, whether or not you think these guys are going to be secure or not, you can always type it into your Google chat, or into your Google search link, or into your browser search, and you can type in, hey, is this site 100, is this site secure, and is this abandonware site secure? You know, type in the name of the actual abandonware site, just type in saying, is it secure, and you'll get some informative documents that tell you whether or not they think that this place is secure. The usual range is around 90 to 95% secure, which is high enough for me. Honestly, I would have stuck at 75 to 80%, because it's a much higher chance that I would be fine. But to be honest, with games like this, you're absolutely fine. There is no issues. I got mine from My Abandonware. That's what it's called. The site is called My Abandonware, and these guys are absolutely great. You can get it in German, French, English, and he said British there. Got to calm myself. English is the true English. You can get them from various different places, and it was absolutely amazing. Now, to get onto the nitty gritty of things, the reason why I haven't been streaming for a while is because of the fact that there's been a lot of things moving on with my life. I've had a lot of problems going on in the background, and now we've sort of worked through these problems coming up to Christmas, which is amazing. So now it's time to get back into doing what I know that I love doing, and generally try and make things a lot easier on myself. So with no further ado, we're just going to go through various things in this game that you guys would come across. We're going to see how this game generally goes with everything else. So you got various teams you can play as. So if I just go into this AI here and I change the nation, you got USA, Germany, UK, France, Italy, USSR, Japan, and you can randomize it. Of course, we've chosen to randomize all of these, and this is what I've got. You can switch it up with various maps that you can get different ones, and if you've got if you've got the little coding that you can put into your files that allows you to play with your Uplay rewards from your account when you were playing it on either your Xbox or your PC, which I have on mine. You get certain units like a super perishing, sorry, I know people are gonna get me for that, super pershing, or you can get various different things like new maps and bonuses, which are pretty cool. Now, I'm already maxed out on my level here, because it doesn't, you know, the more matches you win, you're going to level up real quick. You can do 1v1 all the way up to large maps of 8, so 4v4 or free for all or whatever, and they're generally quite fun to play. So without saying further ado on this one, we've got different things. Obviously, your German is your powerhouse. French, actually, the French I can't really knock. They are a bit of a powerhouse themselves. Their tanks are heavy, although they can't do a huge amount of damage. But when you go later into the game themselves, you find that they're actually quite good for a turtle team. The Italians, they're cheap, they're fast to produce, and you can get a huge number out of the field very quickly. The Japanese, not really, I mean, they're kind of all-round mediocre. I mean, you can, once you get the advanced things, like just like the IO, the Chiri, the heavy tank destroyers, stuff like that, you can kind of be unstoppable in a way. The Russians, of course, we all know the Russian infantry was probably the cheapest thing to produce. It was also the fastest thing to produce. So the Russians infantry is really quick, which you'll see in the game. They were also really quite high up on the tank side of things as well. They were quite good. But when you start getting to the advanced stuff, that's when things start getting good. The Japanese infantry do have flamethrowers and snipers, which I think is pretty cool. And the snipers are in bush wear and stuff, which is pretty cool. The British artillery. If you want artillery and you want to be an artillery faction, the British is where you want to be. Their light artillery has the highest range. Their medium artillery has really good explosive damage, and they don't really have a heavy artillery, but it is still really good. If you want long range artillery, go with the Americans, the Russians, or the Italians. Don't go with any of the others because they're pretty poor, if I have to say. The short range artillery and the Japanese is literally short range artillery. The Germans is because it's just cheap to produce. Short range artillery is not great. So we've got quite a lot of things here. So we're just going to get straight into the game and we'll see what happens from there. So I gotta get comfortable. Oh, where's my water? Alright, so we've got a few different things. And you can see we're all in like a big circle. So the first thing you kind of want to do with R.U.S.E is you want to get your supply lines in place, because that enemy is going to come after you real quick. Now with R.U.S.E is all about how you play against your enemy. So we've got various different things we can do here. So this one's Blitz, which increases the speeds of your unit. So we're going to do that just in this zone here, because anything that comes into this zone to come to the headquarters will basically get me money faster. It's the only thing. Fanaticism, this is something you can use when you're on the defense. Inspires your units to fight to the death, which means they won't retreat. You've got one here, Terror, which you can cause psychological warfare on enemy units within a sector. So this is what that looks like, and anything in that sector would basically retreat a lot faster. You can create decoy airfields to kind of make your enemy go for them, and then you can flank them and mess them up. Same with the army, fake tank offensives and stuff like that. You can really mess them up with that. Spy within a certain sector allows you to see the units for a certain amount of time, see what's in that area. However, if the units are hidden in like the trees and stuff like that, or they're generally hidden by using radio silence, you won't know that they're there. Decryption allows you to see where you can put it over an enemy's position, and it will tell you where that enemy is going to go, where their projected movement is. Camouflage net hides your buildings, which is pretty useful, especially for facing artillery and you haven't got the range for it, or if you want to really mess with them, you can revert your intel so your small units are big and your big units are small. Kind of makes you feel like you can have a ton of infantry charging a position, and because you've seen a ton of infantry coming at your position, you've moved your anti-tank guns back, but then when they come through, they're actually tanks, and then the anti-tank guns are kind of useless because your tanks have already pushed. So again, I might be talking a bit fast here. ADHD is going nuts. But we've got their various different things, such as the Russian artillery positions. They're not too bad. They are not too bad. I'm just going to say that now. So on my right flank, we've got another Russian group. On my left flank, we've got the Italians. And on my far left, we've got the Japanese. The Japanese are facing off against their allies, with the Italians in support, which is pretty good. So we're just going to go into, we've got artillery, we've got that. So let's get the armor base sorted. Best thing is to get units out on the field as soon as you functionally can. The reason for this is because the enemy will come towards you, and if you haven't got your infantry sorted, it could be a very bad day for you. So you want to get units out as quick as. So we've got in the infantry section, we've got the BA-11, which is the armored recon. As you saw when I put it down, the blue circle is their effective firing range, and the white circle after that is that visual range for them, because they are recon elements. So anything that enters that white circle will then become visible to me. So that's pretty cool. So we got a few different things going on. I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I honestly cannot knock it. I honestly can't. It's it's a game that I've really loved playing as a kid, and I do play this every now and again. As I said, it's so enjoyable to play. Oh, we've got some engagements going on over here. Well, Japanese definitely won that fight. I mean, it's 2 zeros versus a Stuka. It's never going to win that. So this is what I meant about tabletop kind of antics going on here. My screen would do its thing. So if you have a look, you see that various items on the battlefield look like little pucks on a table. So if I zoom out, here you are. We're in a bombed out building, which is now a HQ, and this is now a table in the middle of that room, and all those pucks serve as unit positions on a map, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So those enemies are coming a little too close, so I need to start getting various things into positions. Now, a way to play this first is to get some form of defenses up to kind of protect yourself. Various defenses that I'm going to be putting up are 80 and some infantry. This is simply just because I need that ground. Air, I know it's prominent right now, but the air itself will simply be a smoking crater by the time these guys make their moves. So you can see money's coming up quite nicely. Just got to get that blitz going again, and money will start coming in a lot faster. We're gonna get a admin building. So the more buildings you put down, so for instance, if I put down another barracks, infantry will come out of that barracks a lot faster. Now you'll see what I mean by infantry being super cheap. Look how fast that got. Look how fast that got done. Oh my god, I it's getting done faster than I can put them on the ground. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Infantry is now on the ground. The British are holding fast just outside our kill zone. Germans are slowly starting to come up. The French are showing out in force. The French are coming out in force. That's not something I ever wanted to hear myself say. But they are, and it does worry me because the French have heavier tanks at the start. So I don't want them to get any sort of ideas. Now, if I put this over here, my allies can now see the vehicles, and now they're going to send everything they can to destroy these vehicles. Now they can see everything. It should make destroying these a little bit easier. Now you might have noticed these guys, once they're hidden, they kind of flash a blue color. That's just to show you that they are hidden by the trees, so any recon won't be able to see them. just for the peace of mind, security for these guys, I'm gonna give them just a little bit of help protecting their base. I know it's not really my responsibility to do this, but I just want to make sure that we don't have the loss of these guys, because if my flank falls on this right side, we're going to have issues. So we're just going to put 680. We're going to put 380 guns, 2 infantry, 1 recon, and 6 AA pieces. Again, 1 AA piece isn't enough to destroy the enemy aircraft. However, if you do multiple, you can make a quicker job of it, and that's the idea. When you ever get this stuff from my abandonware, they usually come up with a little readme file, and it tells you how to install it step by step onto your PC. So if you're wondering about how that's going to happen, that's how you would do it, and it's very simple. There's no, if you think it's super complicated, you're overthinking it. It is a very simple way of doing it, because they tell you step by step how to put everything together. A bit like riding a bike, if you think about it in a certain sense. Oh, these guys are going a long way. Interesting. All right, let's get these AT guns into position, and then we're gonna put some AA guns out. Eeky bleaky. Shout out to those guys who know exactly what that's from. Oh, so the British have joined the fight with the French, and they're now taking on my allies there. So I'm just going to move those guys a lot faster up into those positions. I don't want them to see these units in a sense, so I'm going to hide them. Oh, that could be deadly. Oh. As I said, look, you can see that they've got a recon plane. So that's very cheeky. They've got a recon plane just sitting there. It's alright, they're about to have a little surprise with my AA pieces. So we're just going to get everything into place, and we'll go from there. One thing I do like about using the My Abandonware site that I used for this is any games that are now available on Steam for a certain price because they've come back and they've brought the servers back, or for the nostalgia kind of thing. They have a link on them which will come up like a little $sign. If you click on that, it will take you to the Steam page for that exact game, so you don't have to purchase it if you've already got the download. But it will take you to the link for the game so that you can activate the actual servers for the game, which is pretty neat. Pretty neat, if I say so myself. It saves a lot of problems. But I use the My Abandonware site. It's 90% safe. Don't really get any issues from them, and everything's really good quality. So alright, so now we've got the basic defense kind of set up. You can see about my AAs just lighting them up. That's where we wanted it to be. just because of where the enemy is, I'm going to be putting down just a couple of artillery positions here. Just simply because, you know, now I can reach kind of inside this inner circle and start laying waste onto the enemy from a distance. I've got my protection. I've got all of that. So the enemy shouldn't be able to really do much damage. I've got the Italians on the... oh, the Japanese pushing quite hard. The Italians are pushing too. Germans seem to be struggling here. But I think that's just because their supply lines are getting hit. The British and French on this side are grouping together to make a bit of a harder assault point. So the Italians are looping around. That's quite smart. And until that happens, yeah, until that happens, it was smart. Let's see now. Okay. So now I'm just putting some more artillery positions out there. And now we wait, because now I've got $27 in this one. I've got 36 in this one, 36 in this one. And some of these, I don't quite understand why, but they're going up towards here. So I now need to kind of wait for my money to come up and start building more administration buildings. These buildings are only available in the 1945 era side of the war, and they help you generate income. Generates $1 every 4 seconds. So the more you have of these, the more money you're getting in. More of these buildings, the faster everything produces. But now I'm playing as Russia. I get 25%. I think it is creation boost. So if I'm creating stuff, it should be a lot faster. Researching probably takes a little bit of time. If I start doing infantry, my gosh, like, I don't know why I just did that. I need to save the money. Get some more administration buildings, get some more money coming in. As you can see, that money's on the top left there. If we zoom in, we're on ground level. We can see everything. The Italians are having a bit of a face-off. Who are they fighting? The French. How ironic. Oh, the French have brought in aircraft. Oh no, that's the British. So the Allies are bringing in aircraft now. What? Are the Italians bringing in aircraft? Yes, they are. Just the one, but, you know. Got a little hidden AT gun there. That's smart. AZ, more forces coming in. The Japanese are coming in just to really mess with the Germans now. Well, they've got a ton of anti-air, a few medium tanks. If the Germans start bringing out, yeah, there it is. The Germans start bringing out tanks, they're not going to be able to do much. I mean, look at that Panzer IV. It's just messed up. So now that the Japanese have just poked the bear is now going to start getting a little bit stronger. So that's going to be interesting to see. So, of course, as I said, more money is better. We're just going to get more money. Now, I'm going to open that up. And you can see these guys are already firing. If I go back over here, you can get to see them firing, and it's pretty cool, like the level of detail to these things. Hey, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but looking at the screen, just kind of, it has that little thing where the lens around the screen kind of makes it feel like I'm looking through like a viewport rather than, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, so we've got tanks, we've got. Let's get the AA. We're definitely gonna need that by the look of it. This is one of the larger scale battles, which is pretty fun to do. As I say, there's no limit at this point. On the Xbox 360, I would probably have reached my limits simply on these defenses itself, which is very sad. But on the PC, oh my god, I can create as much as I like, which is fantastic. So the Russians on my right flank, they seem to have worked themselves up. They've got Su-85s now, so they should be good. The British and the French are in the centre there, getting themselves quite literally handed. The Italians are. It looks like they're more patrolling than anything else. They've set up a secondary base here. And the Germans are building up their might, which scares me. Because if they start getting the super heavy stuff out, it's going to be a wipe. I need to obviously make sure those defenses are in and everything's fine. We are playing on hard, by the way, so these enemies can just start bringing out a lot of heavy stuff very quick. So we've got the 152s, which will be useful. Aircraft. No, more money, more money. I am a greedy bitch. Let's get some more money. If the British push hard enough, they might be able to force my ally back into his base. The French are launching... I think they're launching an attack. It doesn't really feel like an attack because they're just launching light tanks with H-39s. As I said, look, the Germans building up their might. As I said, German stuff is a lot more expensive, but it packs a punch. Oh, there it is, B-1Bs. The Italians have their advanced tank out. Oh, okay. This could be an interesting development for the French. French boyos on this side are going to try and make life hard, but I don't think so. We got the Archer missile. Archer missile? No, I'm still thinking about Halo the other day. We got the Archer tanks, which hilarity, most games get this wrong. R.U.S.E is included in this because the Archer, yes, would face this direction to fire. However, your driver's port is here on the back, so the tank would drive in a reverse order. So the tank would drive from the rear with the cannon pointing backwards into position, and then it would turn so the cannon is facing the enemy, and it would reverse onto its firing point. Once it's fired, it can make a very quick getaway forward, and it would win, basically. As I see, look, my defenses are holding, which is pretty good. Right, let's get this advanced factory going. Oh, we want the Katusha. Oh, the Germans have ventured out. They have stopped being wimps and ventured out to see what's going on. And hilarity being their allies in World War II, the Japanese, are not letting them get any further than that, which is pretty sad. They've got an advanced factory, which means that they're going to start getting advanced stuff out soon. Which is going to be interesting to see. So I'm going to get some. I'm going to get 4 KV1s simply because that's all I can get right now. Let's make it 5 since I can now get 5. My artillery guns stand ready. I'm just going to put this on here anyways, just so these guys have something to shoot at for a while, in case they decide to. You see what I mean? That these guys are driving in the wrong format, which is hilarious. But again, a lot of games get this wrong. War Thunder was one game that did get it right, which is quite funny. That you had to drive the vehicle backwards before you could get into position and fire, which made it more a static gun than it did a mobile one, which is very true to what it was used for. British emphasis on retreating after firing simply for cover brought that tank out, and it didn't exactly go as well. We lost a lot of them, and then the Sherman Firefly came along, and it was just the practicality and the fire on the move was perfect. So what's this guy doing? Got a lone Spitfire coming in. Yeah, he just saw those guys and was like, nah, fuck that. So the Kates have just taken them out. That's very sad. That's very sad. Oh, we got the monies coming in now. I haven't got enough. But I can get an airfield, and that's something we definitely need to get. Definitely. As I said, 203mm. God, that's gonna be painful. These guys have been pushed back here by the French, which is, again, a hilarity. So we're just going to get a little Katusha. Going to get a couple of them actually. I'm just going to put them up here. And they're going to act as a little bit of a FAFO for the enemy. Okay, we're going to get an armored car here. And a couple of AA pieces. Simply because I know that the AA is just going to be a nightmare if I don't get it. 3, I think, should do it. I'm not gonna count the chickens just yet. The Germans have built up their numbers. Let's see what they've got. It's all Panzer IVs, all Panzer IVs. A couple of Marders. I'm not seeing anything massive to worry about yet. Oh, there's a Tiger. There it is. There's the Tiger. Out of all of these enemies, these guys are the guys that I'm worried about the most. As we all know, the Germans had a powerhouse kind of ideal. Judging by how slow things move, you can kind of tell whether it's a Tiger or a Maus, or you just kind of see it. The Italians can bring out the numbers, but the tanks are generally so weak. A Sherman can take out 2, which is really bad. The British, when they start bringing out their advanced mediums and stuff, like the Cromwell, they've got range and power, but they haven't got the armor, so they tend to blow up real quick. The French have a lot more armor, but their tanks have very short range, so it depends on what you're going up against. Now, I'm gonna bring these guys up here. We're gonna kind of mess with the enemy a little bit and see what we can do. This will take a little bit of time, so just to speed it up, we're gonna hit blitz on all of these areas, sort of double it up a bit. Whilst we're doing that, I'm gonna get more monies. I'm hungry for money. I am the money man. Ooh. Do we get PEA, or should I get the Sturmovix? Well, let's get Yaks anyway, because I'm definitely going to need the air superiority. Katyusha's are nearly in position. Oh, they got the FCM. The French FCM F1. These guys, they're pretty cool. They've got quite heavy cannons, but they've also got a frontal AA cannon as well. There we go. There we go. The Katyusha's not giving a fuck. Just going for it. I need to move them back into position so that they can do more damage. But they are definitely hitting those enemies right now. Paired up with the artillery, they can be quite destructive, quite deadly. Look at that. So the value of your vehicles and stuff is also the points. So if you've got a T-26, that's $10, and it dies on the field, the enemy gains 10 points. 50 points, no, they're not 50 points, T-34s. 40 points if they kill a KV-1. It's just, all your points are just, let's see what happens. You can see, it's just fire down there now. Look at the wrecks. Oh goddamn. That didn't go well for the French at all. That's a serious amount of manpower they lost there. But now I've turned up, they've all buggered off. So I reckon we head north and go play with the Germans. Play with fire for a bit, see what happens. I'm gonna get 10 T-34s. They'll be faster. Uh, they've got the power of a KV-1, the speed of a T-26, and they've got the armor capacity kind of like in between the both. So they can take a round, but they can also dish it out, which is pretty good. And artillery is true to form, cannot hit anything, which is hilarious. I'll be right back. Alright, there we go. Nice. Sound on the computer was a bit weird there. Alright, so we got... The French is now kind of playing with fire a little bit. Oh, look at that. Look at them. FCM F1s. You see they've got the anti-aircraft cannon on them, and they've got quite a heavy cannon which can deal some serious damage. Russians have built up quite a bit on that right flank. My guys are... I don't know what these guys are doing on the right flank here. What are they doing? Oh, they got KV-1s. They're fine. They're fine. They got armor support, basically. Judging by how this is going to go, I don't trust it. Someone's going to speed them up a little bit. Get them into... Oh! Ooh, nice little flank going on here. The Tiger is engaging. I got a ton of Whirlwinds. It's Panzer IVs there. I'm gonna have to engage. The French are really not helping out here. Alright, let's get that. We're gonna put a couple of these out here. The only reason why I'm putting them out here is just to bolster up that artillery defense. I mean, they don't have the range of these cannons, but they can definitely do some damage. Let's get the Sturmovix as well. Let's just get them. And see, look at that. I'm moving my guys down here just to mess with those guys a little bit. The more we fight them, the more the enemy starts producing. So we're going to see how big we can get these armies going. So the British themselves, they're not exactly producing a lot. As you can see, they've only got a few. They're not like us, where we have a ton of shit. So I'm just going to pull these guys back a bit. Give them some room to breathe a little bit. Let the AI just fight it out for a moment. How are we looking on this front? Let's just start researching everything. Let's go for that. I'm going to stick with the KV-1, as IS-2 is great and all, but KV-1 just... It's just far superior in my mind. I just love using it. Alright, let's zoom in on this bridge, see how far these guys get. So we've got a Sumovete, Italian tank destroyer. Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, that didn't go to plan, did it? So now the Germans are coming out. Okay. What are they coming out with? That's the question. Oh, there's definitely Panzer IVs there. These are probably Tigers. Germans have definitely got some heavy equipment out. French, probably not. British are just going to deploy numbers. Oh, they got the Firefly. Oh, oh, that guy got screwed. Oh, God. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. If they've got the Firefly already, that's $75 to research, and they pack a punch. So a lot of forces are coming towards the Germans here. They got Panthers now, so they're coming towards the Germans to. They see the Germans as the biggest threat, so they're coming to kind of try and whittle that threat down to see what damage they can do, which is fair. There you go. There's my babies all there, the Katyushas, and the Russians. They'll start bringing out Katyushas. So far, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh god, I've got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 administration buildings. I'm gonna have some good money coming in. It's going up real fast. That's about to go up faster. Oh, the Japanese are starting to bring out the... What's this? The R.U.S.E. As I said, the Japanese stuff isn't exactly the greatest, but it's still good. I'm 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 quite amazed at the Japanese at the moment. Usually their stuff tends to be quite weak, and the Germans would roll them quite badly. So it's quite a surprise to see them doing quite well. Oh, Tiger. With the combined arms of the Stukas, it's quite interesting to see how they do here. French and the British are... The British the military is kind of non-existent right now. Their air force is the biggest thing. British artillery and air force is the strongest. But all of this seems to be a nice big mess of sorts, which is quite cool to see. I'm not gonna kind of bring my air force out just yet. I'm gonna put them out at sea at the moment. let's let's go and mess with the French down here, try and help them out a little bit. Germans gonna get enrolled a little bit. Although it's not going to last very long if these Stukas keep up their attacks. You can see the main force here is starting to collapse and run away. So if these guys keep going with the Stuka attacks, they'll eventually cease to exist. I'm going to send in my boys. We're going to start messing up the French on that corner. It seems a bit much, I know, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna 20 T30s, T34s. Sorry. We're gonna get 15 anti-aircraft guns because we're definitely gonna need those. We're gonna need 2 assault guns, and now wait for the money to catch up with my demands. We're gonna get 4 AT guns. These act more in support than anything else. We'll get a Katusha. If I get 2 Katushas, it'll be so easy fight, and it'll be too easy of a fight. So we're gonna get these guys together. We're gonna push the French, and we are going to win. They're not going to like the attack itself, but the Germans, as I said, they'll survive if their Stukas keep doing their thing, which they did. So we're just going to mess with the French here. Let my forces kind of catch up with what they're doing. Get 5 AT support vehicles. Get a few more T-34s. Infantry wise, I think we've got enough infantry. I'm going to get more anyway, so why not? Oh, my guys are engaging. These guys are the biggest threats. Just so I can really mess with them. I'm just going to send everything towards it. Now we are definitely getting flanked, so I'm going to pull 2 KVs and 3 T-34s to go and deal with that flank. Which they're doing quite well. But of course, yes, the fight could always be better. So we're going to get 17 T-30s, T-34s. I need to stop calling them T-30s. Gonna get some AT guns. And now we've kind of pushed the French into a little corner here, which is nice to see, I think. So the British and the French have been contained in this corner. Germans are rebuilding strength quite fast, although that might not last very long. And my forces are just about finished here. Let's look at this. This is going to be an assault force, so it's going to have a mixture of everything if it's going to be an assault force. I should say combined arms. You probably got a few people out there who are probably going to yell at me for saying that. But get some AA guns up. Some recon. As I said before, you know, the more buildings you have, the faster things build. So I'm going to get 2 more artillery bunkers, 1 more AT, and 1 more barracks. Not that I need to get one that's super fast, but it builds a lot faster. So now that I've got that, I'm just going to put some defenses around here. The enemy do land paratroopers, so if I have multiple artillery points, those paratroopers are going to be made very short work of. I've got a lone T-34 here. Let's pull him back before he gets absolutely smashed. And there you go. Now they've learnt, they've brought in some anti-air. There's lots of anti-air going on. This is a fight down here. Oh, they've got infantry hidden in the woods there. Look at that. Okay. So now we've got that going, I'm gonna send these guys out here to kind of deal with that. But at the same time, I'm gonna send my assault force to sneak into the enemy base, basically. So let's just watch these guys go through the town. It's pretty cool to see. Oh, I don't want to do that. There we go. Good angle. Of course, the animations aren't exactly the greatest. As you can see, it looks like they're drifting their AA guns, which is pretty funny to watch. But again, as these are essentially meant to be pucks on a board, they're not exactly going to be the greatest in animation techniques. This game was very old, as it was on the Xbox 360. So, but it's still a game from my childhood that I absolutely loved playing when I was about 14, 15 years old. So, yeah, that's 15, bloody hell, that's more than 15 years ago. Gosh, that's 15-year plus game. This ooh, blows my mind. It really does. There's a bit of a stockpile, bit of a pile up down here. But as they release, they speed up, which is really cool. Oh god, they're already on this side. This big stack just coming towards the enemy, they must be shitting their pants right now because they can actually see the stack. How are the Germans doing? They're holding their own for now. For now. French on this side and the British, they're alright. These guys are about to get pummeled, which is going to be hilarious. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring those Katyushas just in range. Artillery, yes, it's already in range, but if I bring these guys to here, actually thinking about it, if I bring the full might just here, we can launch a full assault. I've got the Italians in support, which is, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Again, one shot from the FCM and that's already retreating. Oh, damn. I'm just gonna let everything kind of make its way into the fight, and then you're gonna see a lot of enemies. Oh, yeah, we're definitely gonna need to send these guys in now before they get absolutely overwhelmed. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send them in two fronts. And this should be a rather interesting fight, to say the least. Let's put the Katyushas over here. Now, as they are advancing, yes, they are getting shot at. This is quite funny. But as they start approaching the bridge, more and more things are going to start firing at them. But now we've got the Katyushas. I think we will probably be okay. Oh, I lost a Katyusha. I didn't lose both of them. I just lost one, which is fine. Damn, that's nasty. That might be an S-35 or something. That's got an assault gun on it. So that sent these guys into a retreat, which they'll then rejoin the fight in a moment. What else we got? More T-34s, my BA-11s, anti-tank. I've lost a sizable amount, but I've still got quite a large force remaining. So let's bring them into the fight. Katyushas are firing. Yeah, they are. Sal 40s, yeah. But these guys coming through here, they're going to be the biggest threat to these guys because there's a lot of it. Although it's not going too well. Let's put some infantry, AA, AT. That's perfect. So it's all coming in here, in there, and now it's inside of the courtyard. It can be used as a weapon against the enemy because it has cover. And now we've got an internal defense that can mess with the enemy a bit. My tank assault isn't exactly going to plan, so I'm gonna help them out a little bit there, get them out of that cover, get them into the fight. Oh, that didn't go to plan. And this is where I be a bit of an ass and bring in all of my fighters. But we've dealt some damage, which is the main thing that I was aiming for. Total annihilation is not going to be a thing here. Oh, the Germans got screwed. They got screwed. Everything's been taken over. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. British are bringing out stuff in force. The French are realising their mistakes. Obviously, their biggest mistake of their being French. We're just going to keep sending this stuff in. We're doing a lot of damage, it's fine. Okay, wave 2. We're going to get 25 KV-1s. 30 T-34s. 20 AA guns. 10 mobile AAs. 10 AT. 10 AT of that. We're going to get 5 of those. And this is where the fun part goes. We're getting a ton of infantry. Probably looking at about 60 maybe. Not enough supplies. I've used up all of my supplies. Goddamn. Alright, let's just see how this is going. It's not going as well as I anticipated it to be, but at least we're starting to mess with them. Oh, the British are next. The British are about to get screwed. I shouldn't be so excited about that. I am British. They should be putting up a stronger fight. Assholes. It's the Russians as well. Although, this one vehicle is holding his own. What is that? AC Mark 1. It's going to hear me keep clicking, 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 clicking. We need to get a ton of infantry. 98, 99, 100. My God. Mein Gott. Pull these guys back here for now. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up these forces, bring them out here, and we're going to attack over the bridge. Because the bridge is going to be the only thing that's going to stop the enemy from murderizing everything I have. I could go over this bridge. This bridge could be the winner. Oh, the Italians instead are going for it. Whilst the infantry is building, I'm just going to see how these guys get on. Past my wrecks and ruined vehicles. God damn. Oh god. Oh, the Italians. Oh no. Oh no. Rip the Italians. They're bringing in a ton of stuff. Oh god. Is it going to be enough? But all of that is flashing. That's not good. Oh god. Oh god. Oh gosh, I can't even do anything until these guys have all gone through their little process and just everything's coming across the bridge. It's kind of phased through a bridge a little bit. But it's fine. Oh, the Italians are making headroom. They're making leeway. I reckon I could probably help them a little bit. Oh, and the Russians are coming through this way. Yeah, the British are kind of messed up. They lost their headquarters. So it's just this remaining French force here. So once these guys are done, I'm going to send everything I've got in that direction. Let's get the aircraft out of the way because they're kind of in the way. Gosh, that's going to be an absolute cluster to deal with. But we'll send them in. There you go. Dead. I think my Katyusha's kind of just finished them off. Let's bring them up here. Help them kill off the British. The Germans have a Kubelwagen remaining. You can see, like, look at the sheer size of what's going on here. God damn. If I can get it to zoom out properly. Zoom out, there it is. Look at that stack at the back. That is a huge stack, Jesus. Oh my god. Just look at this. That stack is essentially everything you're seeing on the map right here. But look at the sheer size of and numbers of everything. Oh, that's the Germans out. Oh, there it is. The IO. Oh, the OI. Oh, it's not. It's the British that went out. Germans are still in the game because they've got a Kuba wagon just sitting in the back here. Not for long. There it is. Alright, now it's just this French group versus everybody else. And my guys are all coming. I don't need the defenses now, so everything can be used. Just look, the air forces coming in, and if I go from this angle and look up, oh my god. I wonder where my air force is. Oh, here they come. Here comes my air force. Oh, we're doing some damage. Oh, I lost a Yak 3. But definitely doing some damage. And, oh god. Yeah, these guys are not standing a chance right now. The armies are just pouring in over the bridge. But the Russians, the Japanese, the Italians, they're all coming over. My guys haven't even reached that point yet. They're just on the tail end. They're still coming. Oh, we're starting to see the Russians coming over now. I think is it just aircraft left? What's left? Ah, there it is. and victory. Well, that was R.U.S E. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the game. It was quite enjoyable to play, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching that game. Usually you can do different things. There's even operations on this as well, so there's various different things, like you can do 1v1 intelligence kind of things with Kharkov region. You can create offensives, defensives, or you can do some cooperative stuff with some friends. If you want to get some friends together, there are some cooperative ones there. Of course, most games that are now abandonware don't have servers anymore, but if you're using your PC as a server to join from, other people can still join you. Certain games that do this are like R.U.S.E, R.U.S.E. There are some other things you can get that can do this kind of thing, but if you're using your computer as a server, people can join you. You just got to have them on your Steam, and it's still quite, it's still quite good because you get the Steam link through the abandonware file, which is great to have. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But other than that, there's some good ones here. They've even got is it here? Here it is, CeeLo, or Operation Sea Lion. The what if Germany did invade Britain and how far they would get. So there's some fictional ones here as well as some potentially good ones that can be used. So quite enjoyed this one. Definitely a fun one to do. But again, thank you very much for joining me on this game. I really enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all very soon in the next stream. I do have some ideas on streams coming up. So probably getting back into the Arma 3 kind of things. I'm looking to get involved in doing Arma 3 mission buildings and various different things for potentially event ops. One that I've got a couple in the work at the moment. One that you saw as a teaser for the intro was the ace combat missions that I'm planning. I've got a couple in the works at the moment. I've got a few from convoy defense all the way to major assaults and air support duties, which is pretty cool to find. But the guys won't necessarily just be flying in the air. Of course, the emphasis mostly will be the air support, as it's an ace combat mission, but there will be guys on the ground playing as the ground offensive or special forces in this instances, taking out objectives whilst the air forces providing cover, taking out enemy aircraft, and generally just keeping the enemy busy away from the ground forces. So we've got quite a few things planned. I've got a few ops that I've been building whilst I've not been streaming, and I'm hoping to do a rerun of my Fallujah op that I did a while back. If anybody ever saw that video or that stream, we did one with a different unit, and it was quite fun to do. Although obviously without the numbers, the op itself kind of stands at a grind, but now I've learned a lot more about how to do effective Zeusing and how to create better storylines. I think I could pull this off a lot better. Objectives will be a lot clearer and things will go a lot better, I feel. So at the end of the day, there's a lot coming, and I certainly hope you guys will be interested in seeing it. So thank you very much, guys, for joining, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with the Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Cause I don't give a fuck.
Staring at the empty desert road that would take me to the worst hellhole any person would have logically turned their back on. The Iraqi security forces that went in became allies to the enemy, and after weeks of them stockpiling and securing the town, we were given the green light to go back in. Little did I know that this was going to be the worst experience of my life. I lost many friends here, so I can only ask one thing. Was it worth it? There I was, staring at the desert road that would take me to the worst hellhole any person would have logically turned their back on. The Iraqi security forces that went in became allies to the enemy, and after weeks of them stockpiling and securing the town, we were given the green light to go back in. Little did I know that this was going to be the worst experience of my life. I lost many friends here, so I can only ask one thing. Was it worth it? There I was, staring at the empty desert road that would take me to the worst hellhole any person would have logically turned their back on. The Iraqi security forces that went in became allies to the enemy, and after weeks of them stockpiling and securing the town, we were given the green light to go back in. Little did I know that this was going to be the worst experience of my life. I lost many friends here, so I can only ask one